of ancient marble rests upon a weary chest, but the pulse of hidden fire will not let the spirit rest. I've been carving out the rot within the marrow of my bones, building up a kingdom from these jagged broken stones. Every scar's like a map leading back to where I fell in the freezing dark of winter, where I learned to know myself. The orchid tension rises like a tide against the shore. I am not the weeping willow or the victim anymore. I am swallowed down the lightning and I've tasted every storm, waiting for the moment when the metal starts to form. Rise from the ashes of the self you used to know. Watch how the garden in the cemetery grows. Break through the iron, let the inner light ignite. We are the architects of our own endless night. From the darkness, we are reaching for the sun. The transformation has only just begun. Heavy guitars are screaming out the secrets of the vein. There is a strange and holy beauty in the alchemy of pain. I stripped away the velvet and I cast aside the crown to find the diamond core that no one else can tear down. The violins are weeping for the person I have killed, but the cup of transformation is finally being filled. I am the hammer and the anvil and the white hot glowing spark, finding evolution in the corners of the dark. Rise from the ashes of the self you used to know. Watch how the garden in the cemetery grows. Break through the iron, let the inner light ignite. We are the architects of our own endless night. From the darkness, we are reaching for the sun. The transformation has only just begun. Grinding teeth and silver strings, the weight of all these heavy things will pull us down into the deep, where all the old versions of us sleep. But I am climbing, I am clawing, I am breathing in the fire, raising up my spirit on a massive golden pyre. I am the architect of change. knows its ancient price, a memory carved in frozen stone, returning to the great unknown. I walk the halls where shadows used to dance in silver light, before the world was swallowed by this everlasting night. The scent of withered roses still is clinging to the air, a spectral touch of silk and lace, a ghost of golden hair. I see the faces in the frames, their eyes are burning bright, reminding me of everything we lost within the fight. We swore upon the altar that the flame would never die, but gravity has pulled the stars from out the hollow sky. The orchestration of the wind is howling through the gate, a symphony of sorrow played against the hand of fate. My fingers brush the ivory keys, they play a dissonant chord, while heavy iron gates are locked, a soul without a lord. Oh, the weight of the years is a crown made of lead, walking the line between living and dead. Nostalgia is poison, a sweet bitter wine, tracing the cracks in the ruins of time. I am the keeper of all that is past, a silhouette fading, too broken to last. Can you hear the thunder crashing? Can you feel the lightning flashing through the static of the ages, turning back the dusty pages? In the silence of the tomb, I am waiting in the gloom for the sun to never rise, closing my eternal eyes. The weight of the years is a crown made of lead, walking the line between living and dead. Nostalgia is poison, a sweet bitter wine, tracing the cracks in the ruins of time. I am the keeper of all that is past, a silhouette fading, too broken to last. Echoes in the crypt, the hourglass is chipped, fading into gray as the memories decay. reclaim what was my own. Beneath the weight of granite skies, I slumber deep and cold, a story carved in epitaphs that never would be told. I felt the bite of winter frost and taste of iron rain, while every heartbeat echoed with the frequency of pain. They thought the fire consumed the soul and left but gray behind, but embers glowed in secret in the chambers of the mind. Now the earth begins to tremble and the marble starts to crack. There is no power in this world to hold the spirit back. Rise from the ashes of a broken world, with wings of obsidian and fire unfurled. Out of the darkness where the silence screams, I am the nightmare and the king of dreams. Crown of thorns and a heart of lead, rising again from the holes of the dead. I walk through halls of memory where ghosts of silver dance, to break the chains of destiny and shatter every trance. The orchestration swells with grief and thundering regret, a debt of blood and ancient tears that hasn't been paid yet. My skin is etched with lightning bolts and scars of holy war. I am the storm that gathers now upon the distant shore, no longer bound by gravity or tethered to the ground. I seek the throne of starlight where the lost are finally found. The piano weeps in solitude, the curtains fall once more. I trace the patterns of the dust upon this cold and marble floor. The incense lingers in the air like ghosts of prayers we used to speak, while shadows dance across the walls through arches ancient, grey and bleak. I hear the ringing of the bell that marked the hours of our youth, the silver chime that resonated with a long forgotten truth. Now every hallway holds a sigh, a fragment of a lost design. I wander through the labyrinth where all your memories intertwine. Turn to sand with the withered rose of memory clutched inside my trembling hand. Lost in time.
between the living and the words left unsaid.
Heavy guitars grind the gears of time. I'm searching for a reason or a crime. Why did the bridge collapse into the deep? Leaving secrets that we swore to keep. I see you in the mirrors of the rain, a fractured reflection of the lingering pain. Your voice is a whisper in the howling wind, the story of loss when the suffering been. I trade the sun for a glimpse of the moon. If it meant I can see you in this lonely road, the distortion hums like a heartbeat gone wrong. I've been waiting for you all along. Come back from the void where you've been hiding, through the veil of this dark residing. I'm screaming your name into the hollow space, longing to see one more figure of your face. The weight of the absence is a mountain of lead
Between the living and the words left unsaid. Sever the cord or tie it tight. I'm drowning in the middle of the night. Reach through the blackness, grab my hand, pull me back to the solid land. The gravity of grief